visit www.freelunchacademy.com and follow us on all social media outlets at Free Lunch Academy.
Together we can take back our classrooms.
Baseline with me, Chris Bass.
Man, they ain't come back for the game. They came back. Wait, you sounding like this is the wheel or something, like it's gonna change the world.
That doesn't matter? Okay, cool.
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you.
That's just what I say. Okay, here we go. Chris Bass at Baseline, Monday through Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. Central, right here on the Great UBM. Talk, UrbanBroadcastMedia.com.
I gotta come that bass head. You going crazy over this.
Hello, this is Leon Finney, your host of Another Perspective on UrbanBroadcastMedia.com. We are the voice of Black America. Join me and my guests every Saturday from 4 to 5 p.m. as we discuss the issues that impact Black America. Tune in to UBM Talk on UrbanBroadcastMedia.com, the simulcast on our affiliate station WBON 1690 AM. That's Another Perspective every Saturday from 4 to 5 p.m. And you can run and tell that.
Hey, this is David Williams.
And I'm just Niche.
So the David Williams Radio Show here on UBM Talk, the internet's most innovative talk station. UBM Talk, UBM Chicago, Urban Broadcast Media. None of that's on this sheet. All right.
The following show is paid programming and does not necessarily express the views and opinions of Urban Broadcast Media and its subsidiaries.
Thank you for listening to UBM Talk.
Yeah, yo. Yeah, you don't know.
Come on.
Yes. Welcome back. Power to the Village, Women in Hip Hop. Yes. And of course, we're here, Sister Africa and myself, Cassiopeia. Woo! And we got in the building Mary Thatcher from the Chicago Defender.
Yes.
And we got Love Born, our sister in hip hop. And of course, East London Bridges is with us, balancing out with that male energy. But really quick, we got to take the Black Mom Moments, where we talk about a Black-owned business, and I want to tell you all about Shea Whip, which is a shea butter that is amazing. It's shea whipped in there with great
love the whip.
oils.
The whip is the best. It's so smooth.
Yes, it's so smooth. Listen, let me tell you, whenever that brother comes and drops off an inventory into Culture Connection on 400 West 71st Street, open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to now 7 p.m.
Yes. I was there late last night.
Yes. You are able, every time he drops it off, this stuff goes flying off the shelf. So he just made a drop yesterday into inventory. And our boy East London Bridges, who's also a part of the Culture Connection family, has already made his purchases. So make sure that you go in there and get some before it flies off the shelves, and you got to wait for the new shipment to come in. We love Shea Whip by Sankofa Shea is the name of the company. And they also have oils, car sprays, and they also help to actually bring a lot of other businesses in as well. So
y'all got to support the blackmall.com now.
Thank
the
you,
physical
thank
store,
you.
again, is at 400 West 71st Street.
Yes, but you can find lots of Black-owned businesses in all kinds of different categories by visiting the Black, BLACK, Mall, MALL.com. So really quickly, we are so excited about having these amazing guests on here. So we have Jamila from Ebony Magazine on the phone, calling and representing, being another powerful woman in hip hop. Hey, Jamila.
Hey, Jamila. How you doing?
Hi. I'm good. How are you?
Good.
We are good in here.
Thank you for your patience with us and our time
in calling back. We appreciate you.
Powers of the Village.
Tell us what's going on, what you've been working on, and give us a little brief history on yourself.
Well, a brief history on myself. I'm actually a Chicago native from Hyde Park. But I live in Brooklyn now, and I've been with Ebony for almost 4 years. I'm the senior digital editor for the website.
Yes.
So we are working as a unit in the village these days. So I came to talk to you all about some of the exciting things that we have going on in print right now.
Please.
I hope that you all have had a chance to see the June 2015 issue of Ebony with Kendrick Lamar on the cover.
Yes. And I see Chicago's own Big Missus on the cover, too. Talk about.
Yes. Chicago's own Vic Mensa. It's a really special issue. You know, every year in June, Ebony celebrates the best in Black music, and this year we are focusing on younger artists, so millennials, people in my age bracket. That's really cool to be at a time where we're talking about young folks and young Black people that are making innovative music. We had two of our young staff members from the Ebony.com team, Corey Towns and Aaron Rodan, who put together a really great list of some of the hottest young millennial musicians that are kind of changing the game and redefining what it means to be a Black music artist today. They put together a really great list. Vic Mensa, who's from Chicago, is on there. Tink, who's also from Chicago, is on there.
Yes.
Nez and Rio, who are producers and songwriters, also from Chicago, are on the list. Not everybody's from Chicago. We have Janelle Monáe's Wonderland Collective, as well as Rhapsody from North Carolina, who's a really fantastic female MC who does not get nearly the attention that she deserves, is on the list. We have James Fauntleroy, Terrace Martin, FKA Twigs, BA. It's just a really, really great list. So I hope that everybody who's listening to this and who's into traditional hip-hop, new hip-hop, Black music, gives us a shot this month and picks up the millennial music issue of Ebony.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is wonderful. So we got some questions for you all in regards to women in hip-hop and impacts and everything. And so one of my questions that I would love for you all to answer, and I would like to start with Mary, is degradation of women in hip-hop. Is that hip-hop itself? Are we responsible for what is going across? Is it just whatever? Do we just let the media just do what it's going to do? Or rap? Is it, like a lot of times, people are out there and it just says, hey, it's just all entertainment. Is it entertainment or is it an issue?
Well, at one point it was entertainment. Now it's become a cultural issue. And in the beginning, when you did have women in the videos, then you had the female hip hop artists that were very competitive and as lyrically talented as the men, who gradually started to be formulated into, you got to get your sex game up. You got to get your sexy.
Right.
And a lot of that came from male A&R, male product development managers at the labels who were like, let's just package you in a way that is sellable and marketable. So then it wasn't just about the video, H's doing their thing, and the video jukeboxes. Remember the video jukebox? That was right, because Luke owned that, right?
Oh my God, yes.
But because this question was always a question throughout that era was, how do you feel? And at the time, it was entertainment. It was where most of these guys that were talking about, whether you were a H or whether you were a B, if you turned around, their significant others were educated women.
That's right.
Ice Cube's wife, Keisha, she runs his company.
That's right.
She manages him. And then you turn around and you look at Luke and his wife is an attorney. So it kind of contradicts that, that whole notion of, well, why don't you tell the world that you have these extraordinary, smart wives and, significant others, but you don't want to do that because that takes away your alpha maleness of control. But at the end of the day, just to get back to your question, what happened was now the female artists had to show their sexy. So then you start to see this shift from the flannel shirts and from TL. Remember TLC used to rock it. Escape used to rock the whole let me just look like the fellas. And then it transitioned to when Mary J, and then you had, then all of a sudden you had Little Kim. Boom.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I gotta be as hot and sexy as Little Kim, and then exactly with the Versace, right?
Exactly.
So the degradation comes really within the culture because you can't degrade one unless you're signing and co-signing on
it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then that means that you're giving out the wrong signal to other cultures who think they can get away with also doing the same thing towards us.
Absolutely.
So is it the music? No, it's not the music. It really starts with the whole next generation of the millennium who are saying, well, it's cool. That's just how it is because the people before us was doing it. But at the same time, it's no balance. We had balance.
We did.
Yeah.
I always speak about the
balance.
See, we had Ice-T and we had Ice Cube and Arrested Development.
There you go. There you had balance, and so I think that it's not just about the media; it's about the artistic investment that now these artists do have creative control. They can't say, well, the label. No, they have enough creative control to even oversee how that storyboard is going to flow.
Right.
When that video is filmed and when it's in production. Most of them have that creative freedom now.
Yeah.
So you can't say, well, the label went ahead and made this change.
They wouldn't let me, right.
And they wouldn't let me. No. Trust me. It's gotten to the point where you have to give and take with a lot of these agreements between 360 deals now. So if I'm going to give you part of my touring and my merchandising, then guess what? I also want creative control or co-creative control over how I see my project. Yeah. So it has become a cultural situation, and a lot of it has stemmed from the southern region. Hate to say it, but
it's real.
It really is become that level of culture. And if you've ever gone below the Mason-Dixon line, strip clubs are very
they winning.
They're interwoven into just you having a steak and a beer. Yo, man, you want to go to the strip club, have a steak?
Yeah. So, Love, do you think that then do artists from early times, we're talking now, we could go back to the 90s at least in regards to, do they also have a responsibility in what is actually happening now and what we're seeing inside of hip hop or rap or whatever we want to necessarily call it?
Yeah, I actually do, because what I see happening is the artists that were out in my day, they are now the older ones that are in the A&R position and have their own companies and stuff, and they're looking over the women that have the head wraps and the things. They're looking over their own hip-hop culture, and they're going out. And they're also going outside of the culture to sign acts, because back in the day when we were doing what I think what we admired was the money that the country singer labels were getting, and the rock singer that were on those labels, the money that they were getting. So we start to water down what it is we were doing so that we can appeal to those labels, maybe possibly to get those big dollars, and thus pop came into play. Yeah. And so why I say that is we have to, at this point, pull back and realize what it is we're going to do. Now, if you an MC or a person that writes your own things and you're good, you're going to have that control, like Mary said. You're going to be able to pull back and be at the drawing board, at your storyboard, to say what you're not wearing and what you're not. But what's happening now is they're signing others and writing for them and telling them exactly what to wear. And they riding with this simply because, they're thinking about the dollars that they once admired when they were MCs or something. Now that they have their own company and not really realizing that they're watering down their own culture.
Yeah. But see, we saw that last night with MC Light.
That's what the point came up.
And it's so beautiful with the Sisters Network, how she's been able to continue and evolve.
Yes.
So I appreciate what both of you are saying. Mary, you spoke about the wives of some of these entertainers, and how intelligent they are, businesswomen, philanthropists, and CEOs, attorneys, It's interesting because, I sat on the panel with Lil Wayne, and at the same time, we were both pursuing the same degree in psychology. But I was shocked to learn that he was doing that. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So this is when Look Lollipop was out. And they kept playing that during the conference, and it was hundreds of thousands of young people there to the point where they had to shut this little small town where they had this university panel at. And so I made the comment that, back home in Chicago, when Sister Africa's on the flyer and I'm going to speak somewhere, 100 may come out if they're available, you know what I mean? However, when you speak, look at what happened here. Yeah. The whole town has shut down. People can't drive down the street, you know what I mean? Well, I'm not accountable. So we have artists that do that, you know what I mean? I was at an event where Mos Def did that at the Field Museum. I think he was there too a couple of years ago. And he made the comment that I'm not, everybody's parent. I'm not socially accountable. But then, I saw Nicki Minaj a few years ago. And she liked the African outfit I had on. She's like, you think I can wear that? Of course you can. She's like, oh, okay, where can I get it at? So we went to the West End. She's like, you go to the West End? Of course. That's where the black businesses are. You know what I'm saying? She's like, I've been to Atlanta all the time, but I was told not to even go over there.
Oh, wow.
She went over there, got her a cute little outfit. You know what I'm saying? So like you were saying, Love, they want it.
Yeah.
They do want it.
And they have to understand the power. you just said it's the power, and until they become parents, this is where the growth comes in. Until they become parents and they start to really see their child developing into personalities. I'm not talking about toddler stage where it's cute.